Hello and welcome to the Cinematic Addict YouTube channel. I'm Mike. How are you? This is a channel where we love all films, all genres, all formats of physical media. So if you're someone who is a snob about any of those things, you can either go away or you can stick around and maybe become a better person. Here's everything I've picked up recently. So this time around, I got a lot of stuff. It usually happens with me where I will go in a wave of getting a lot and then try to restrain myself and then not restrain myself. And anyway, if you're a collector, perhaps you know how that goes. But starting with my first actual pickup from Cauldron Films. This one is not new, but I've had my eye on it for a long time. Finally went ahead and got it, and that is Beyond Terror. And this just looked like a good time. The cover's amazing. But yeah, Cauldron Films. I already have another of their newer titles pre-ordered. They're doing some good stuff. So Beyond Terror. Next up, this is another one I'd wanted to get for a while. It's been out for a little while. Finally went ahead and grabbed it. This is from Scorpion. 315, The Moment of Truth. I have seen this, but it's been a very long time. Matter of fact, last time I saw it was when I got this VHS. So yeah, so this will be going away. But 315, The Moment of Truth. Then, as far as Vinegar Syndrome partner labels, I did an order recently, and I didn't actually get a single Vinegar Syndrome order movie. These are all partner labels. Got two from ETR. First one at the video store, and for most of these I didn't get slips just because it saves me money and allows me to get get more movies. But this one is, of course, a documentary all about the good old days of the video store, the memories of the video store. You know, and I've seen a lot of documentaries about, you know, loving the old video store days, loving the old VHS days. This one, I think, does a great job at portraying why going to the video store back in the day was appealing and important. And I'd say this is a good one to show folks who may be a little younger, who never lived through that, and maybe they don't quite understand the appeal. Maybe this one will at least give them an idea. So that was pretty good, and it's not very long. It's a quick watch. And I got also Vinyl Nation. I did get this slipcover because it just looked too awesome to not get. This one I had seen before. Out of all the many, many vinyl documentaries out there, this is, you know, not the absolute best one, but it's pretty good. Good enough for me to buy. And that's also from ETR. From Saturn's Core, one of my favorite partner labels. They put out another Wave Productions film, Hung Jury. I'm a fan of the Wave Productions line, and that was no question I'm going to buy it release. It also comes with a bonus movie and a bonus short that is a sequel to the bonus movie. So in addition to that, you get a lot of special features as well. Love their stuff. So Hung Jury. Latest from VHS Hit Fest. Justice Ninja Style. This looked like a lot of fun. There is a bonus documentary about the guy who plays the ninja in this movie, Ron D. White. It's fascinating. I watched the documentary, and just listening to the guy talk. What a guy. What an interesting character. But yeah, Justice Ninja Style. Looking forward to watching that. Then some AGFA titles. I got one of the past releases, Jungle Trap and Run Coyote Run. One that I'd wanted to pick up for a while. Finally got that. Then the two new ones, Lady Street Fighter. I have this movie on a perfectly good DVD. So for some people, upgrading would be, a way of life. But, if it's on a perfectly good DVD and it's proper aspect ratio, I usually just let it go. However, this comes with a bonus movie, Revenge of the Lady Street Fighter, which was previously unreleased. So that was enough to make me say, yeah, got to get that. So, Lady Street Fighter. The other new one is their Blu-ray release of The Zodiac Killer. This also comes with a bonus movie, another Son of Sam. These are from the 70s. This just looked interesting. Couldn't say no. So, The Zodiac Killer. And then one that I got from a former Vinegar Syndrome partner label, ordered directly from TerrorVision. Got the Linnea Quigley Horror Workout. I've heard about this for so many years. I don't know if it's ever been beyond VHS. Don't know. Have never seen it. So, wanted to go ahead and order that. So, a horror workout. That just sounds fun. Then I was going through my DVDs, weeding out full screen stuff that shouldn't be there, and I came upon my shelf of full moon DVDs and saw that there were quite a few that were full screen, and that was depressing. So of course I had to try to order any replacement, well, in this case Blu-rays, that were in the proper widescreen ratio. I have 3 here. I still have another one somewhere in the mail system, but I got Trancers 3 to upgrade a full screen DVD. Beach Babes from Beyond. Still haven't watched this movie, even though I remember seeing this on the video store shelves on VHS back in the 90s. And Mansion of the Doomed. Then picked up one that's actually from VCI, released through MVD Visual, it looks like. One that I've had in my cart for a while is Giallo, by the name of Puzzle. And I have seen this. I sent to Berger and Luke Miranda. Just trying to, put more Giallo in the collection. I already have a lot, so I have the momentum to keep trying to get more, and this one I did not have. So, Puzzle. From Code Red, I have this on VHS, but I will be keeping the tape for now. And this, again, nothing new, but Revenge of the Dead, iconic zombie cover there. Also known as Zetter. Wanted to grab that on blue. This I just grabbed because I do love grabbing any kind of documentary about VHS. And there's many of them at this point. And this one on DVD, VHS Love, Cult Cinema Obsession. This one I've had in my cart for years, and finally just said, yeah, I need to go ahead and buy this. It's an Olive Films release of a fun movie, Roller Boogie, with Linda Blair. This one I first watched a few years ago, thought it was fun, and it has a moment in it that is one of the funniest movie moments I've ever seen, at least in terms of how much it made me laugh to the point I almost passed out. When one of the guys when they crash this party of rich people, and the one character mispronounces hors d'oeuvres. One of the funniest things I've ever heard in a movie. Anyway, Roller Boogie. Ordered a couple directly from Dark Force Entertainment to upgrade full screen DVDs. One of these, this first one, I had on a Mill Creek 50 movie box in a full screen bad print. Death Rage with Yul Brynner. So finally getting a widescreen copy of that from Dark Force Entertainment. And the other one I had on one of those, I believe, Video Asia collections of bad-looking prints in full screen. I got the unfortunately titled Redneck. This is another Italian film with Telly Savalas playing an American called Memphis, who is a psychopath, and hence the title Redneck. But it's a crime film. You know, don't be misled by that. It's a crime film, Telly Savalas, and Franco Nero, actually. So, upgrading to a widescreen format there. We got some Criterion releases. The Criterion website, I think it's still going on, or maybe it just ended, at a 30% off sale. And I usually wait for those to use the coupons I have. I had $30 worth of coupons. So with that, I got this for pretty much just cost of shipping. I wanted to get a good copy of The Lady Vanishes on Blu-ray. Classic Hitchcock film from '38. Love this movie. I have a bad print DVD of it. One of those cheap dollar releases. So, got a good Blu-ray copy there. Listened to the commentary already to learn more about it. That was cool. I ordered this from eBay because they had a copy at a decent price. I got this mainly so that I could own one of the films in it, but all of the films in it are good. I've seen 3 of the 5. The Eclipse Series 3 of Late Ozu. I got this mainly for Equinox Flower, which is one of my favorite Ozu films. But owning the rest is absolutely a good thing. More on this later. And I also ordered a used copy on Blu-ray of the Three Colors trilogy. You get a book with that as well. Love all 3 of these films. Like probably a lot of people, I first saw Red, but Blue and White I saw later. The only one I actually owned before was Blue. I still own it on DVD, and I'm keeping that because it has special features that are on here. But yeah, these 3 movies are excellent. More on that later. Kino Lorber. Just got this on DVD because I wanted to check it out. The Wanderers. It will also upgrade a VHS that will be going away. I'm just interested in checking this out, so I just grabbed the DVD cheap. Got the Blu-ray of Programmed to Kill, which apparently also had the alternate title of Retaliator. And I got that to upgrade this VHS, which will go away. And of course, hey, guess what? Another film noir, The Dark Side of Cinema box. There's actually another one. This is volume 13. Volume 14 should arrive at my house this week sometime. So, with this volume, you get these 3 films. Spy Hunt, The Night Runner, and Step Down to Terror. And I haven't seen any of those, so Another box full of good time right there. I got the latest Marvel release, 4K, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Then some Arrow releases. Well, I said I would probably get this, and I did. Sonny Chiba's Executioner collection, 2-film collection, Executioner 1 and 2. Grab that for some more Sonny Chiba. Got this box set of Gothic Fantastico, 4 Italian Tales of Terror. Hey, there's some alliteration for you. This box set comes with a book and a poster, as well as Lady Morgan's Vengeance, The Witch, The Third Eye, and The Blancheville Monster. And this one right here will upgrade from a copy I had on a Mill Creek box, 50 movie box. So that serves that purpose too. I've had this one in my cart for quite a while as well. Finally grabbed it. This film is bonkers, but it's fun. White Fire, and this about a diamond known as the White Fire. Great cover there. You gotta see this movie to believe it. And the final Arrow. Little film, little Nico Mastorakis film named Nightmare at Noon. Watched this one a couple years back. Thought it was really a lot of fun. Some people trapped in a small town where the water's contaminated and turns people into crazy murdering fiends. And you got a great cast of Wings Hauser, Bo Hopkins, George Kennedy. You also have this guy, Brian James. Great stuff. Finally grabbed that too. Got another Shout Factory exclusive, website exclusive, because it will upgrade to full screen bad print movies on one of those old $1 Walmart DVDs. The Brave Archer collection. I had Brave Archer 2 and 3 on one of those old DVDs. With this set, you get the Brave Archer, of course. Brave Archer 2. Brave Archer 3. Brave Archer and his mate. And Little Dragon Maiden. So grabbed that box from Shout. Finally, we got some Severin. Got one of their new titles here, Extraterrestrial Visitors. I had seen this a long time ago. So long that I remember nothing about it. But I do have it on a 50 movie Mill Creek box and a full screen print, so had to get this to make that better. Also finally grabbed Tales to Keep You Awake, Spanish TV show that is Twilight Zone-like, apparently. Horror anthology show from Spain. Wanted that when it first came out. Didn't get it. Finally got it. Here it is. And finally, one that I wasn't going to get. I tried to resist. But I just love this genre so much. I had to get the Violent Streets box set. Umberto Lenzi, Thomas Milian films. You get 5 films in here. And I'm sure many of you have seen this box shown before, but you get Almost Human, Syndicate Sadists, Free Hand for a Tough Cop, The Cynic, the Rat, and the Fist, and Brothers Till We Die. All Italian crime films. Love those. So I could not resist. I just couldn't. And you get the soundtrack for I think all but one, maybe, at least 3 if not 4 of the films. You get the soundtrack as well. So that's great. So yeah, Violent Streets collection from Severin. And here's everything else I picked up from a Goodwill. And from Disney Movie Club. This showed up at my door because apparently I did not see any notification to decline this. Who knows? But anyway, that's fine. I kept it because it will actually upgrade this VHS. Then I also got this from Amazon for, at least in the case of one of the movies, to upgrade a bootleg VHS that I forgot was in my collection. So yeah. From a Goodwill. And so these VHS can be deleted. From Goodwill. Got some VHS upgrades. Okay, so for this episode's Pantheon entries, we're actually getting 5 films, and they're 5 that I just showed you as new pickups. So I figured I would just let them stick around and present them as my Pantheon entries, because they are some of my favorite films, and they're all from Criterion this time. Didn't plan that, but here we are. The first I had mentioned was The Lady Vanishes from 1938, Alfred Hitchcock. One of Hitchcock's early People on a Train movies, although you do get the first chunk of the film where they're in an inn of some sort, and you kind of get to know the characters. You kind of maybe see how things are going to get set up, maybe. And then there's a mystery. There's a somebody potentially murdered on the train. Who did it? It's just an excellent film. This has Margaret Lockwood, Dame May Whitty, Michael Redgrave. And it has these 2 characters, played by Basil Radford and Naughton Wayne, as Charters and Caldecott, who actually appeared in several movies. And you do, as a bonus feature, get one of their other films, Crook's Tour from 1941, on here as well. But it's just interesting. A couple characters in here went on to be in other films. So I first saw this on an old cheap DVD. Probably paid $1 for it. Very low quality kind of DVD. And it was one of those movies where at first I was, wondering if I was able to get into it, but before I knew it, especially when I got on the train, I was just engrossed. Even in that bad quality print that I had. This is a really cool movie. Again, 1938, Hitchcock, Lady Vanishes, one of my favorite films, and one of my favorite Hitchcock films. Then from this set, some Ozu, and particularly I wanted to spotlight this film, Equinox Flower from 1958. This is one of my favorite Ozu films. Maybe it's not his best film, but it's one of my favorite films. This is probably most likely one of my favorites because this is actually the first Ozu film I ever saw. Now, if you talk Ozu with many people, they're going to say something like Tokyo Story or some other film that might have been their first Ozu film. Don't usually hear people saying Equinox Flower is their first Ozu film, but this is the film I first sampled to see what Ozu was all about. Fell in love with the style. Ozu is just an amazing filmmaker, and I've seen quite a few of his films since, and it's only been a few years since I saw this. As far as a story, has to deal with generational conflict and older generation, younger generation, that kind of thing. As far as what drives the plot, but it's also in color. And Ozu didn't do a tremendous amount of color films. They happened as he got older, as he got closer to the end of his career. But this is one of them, and he did some wonderful things with color. There's a documentary on the Criterion Channel, something about the red teapot or something that shows up thematically. It's just great stuff. I mean, if you know Ozu, obviously you know Ozu. I don't necessarily want to say avoided, but I had resisted perhaps watching Ozu for a long time because I had heard just how slow and methodical they were, how this camera was sometimes just statically watching. I wasn't sure if I would be into that, but apparently I totally am. So if you haven't tried Ozu, I mean, you could do worse than starting with this one, but I would recommend checking him out. Anyway, Equinox Flower, 1958. And finally, we get all three of these. Three Colors trilogy from Kieslowski. Blue and White from 1993 and Red from 1994. All packaged here nicely in this Criterion release. You get the three films here. Not to go too much into each one of them, but because they each tell their own story. But they all have these characters who wander through all the films. Like you might see the main character in this film, she's going somewhere. In one of the other films, you see someone who watches her walk down the street from that same scene. I mean, it's they're all connected, but you don't have to see any of the others to understand the one you're watching. But if you do watch all three of them, you're rewarded with so many little crossover moments. It's really impressive. But these are French, in French. And I first saw Red. I think maybe, I don't know, a lot of people might have seen this one as their first of the three, even though it was the last one. But I first saw this actually in a theater, in a Film League screening locally, and I thought it was amazing. So when I went home, I checked my collection. I saw that I owned Blue on DVD, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, and watched that. Thought it was great, and sought out White. I think I probably found it streaming somewhere online, and watched it. And they're all great. It's such different stories, but they're all just amazing. So if you've never sampled the Blue, White, Red films of Kieslowski, do yourself a favor, really. Anyway, here's something else. For this episode's bookshelf segment, I'm actually going to talk about a couple recent books. One that I recently finished reading that's only about a year old or so, and one that I just got. And the first one is Quentin Tarantino's Cinema Speculation, his book of film commentary, review, memoir, all in one. I just finished reading this, even though I've owned it for months. I've been just working my way through it steadily. This is an excellent read. Now, I have learned long ago not to worship at the feet of a movie director, because they are, just humans with their own problems and faults and sometimes wrong opinions. But Quentin Tarantino is probably my favorite living director. I love his films. And when I listen to him speak, or when I read his words, the most important thing is that it makes me excited about films, about watching films. And that's very valuable. No, that's not to say that I always agree with him, although most of the time I have no problem with what he's saying. The important thing is, of course, that his energy is contagious. This book is a lot about his life growing up watching films, but it's also a look at certain films. Most chapters have to do with a certain film or a certain kind of film. You have chapters on Dirty Harry, Deliverance, Daisy Miller, The Getaway. Big movies like that. But inside those chapters, you get many, many references and nods to all sorts of smaller films, more obscure films. He creates quite the interconnectivity with a lot of films, and that's cool. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I hope he does more of these books. So yeah, Cinema Speculation, good stuff. And the other one is one that I just got in the mail the other day, so I figured I would just throw it on here as a book to check out. And that is TCM Underground 50 Must-See Films by Millie DeChirico and Quatoyia Murray. Hope I said that right, or at least close to right. This, I wasn't sure if I wanted to rush and grab this, because typically a lot of books like this cover a lot of films that are well known to film fans, cult film fans. And a big seller for me is when a book covers films that maybe I haven't heard of, or maybe I haven't seen. And this is actually a little of both. And it looks great. So I'm very eager to dig into it. I mean, it does have films you may have heard of, like Possession, of course, but it also has others that I haven't seen, like Remember My Name and Secret Ceremony. So there's enough stuff in here to pique my interest. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this to check out. I haven't read any of it, of course, but it's a very beautiful book. Lots of pictures, nice design. And there's a foreword by Patton Oswalt, and he is definitely a film buff. So yeah, TCM Underground, 50 must-see films, classic cult and late night cinema, my kind of thing. So if you haven't been aware that this exists, this may be something for you. And that'll do it for this episode of The Cinematic Attic. Until next time, everyone, enjoy your movies.